All right, let's see if I am live. Okay, I'm live. Happy Tuesday, everyone. Welcome to another mini training. My name is Oninya Nike. I am your confidence coach and business strategist, and I work with Christian female mompreneur coaches, consultants, experts. And what I do is I help you to clarify your message, leverage your unique genius, uh, raise your prices so that you can land dream premium clients in less time, spending less time in your business, right? With ease and simplicity. So this is the second part to the mini series I'm doing, trainings that I'm doing next couple of days to weeks. Yesterday, we talked a little bit about positioning. Today, we are talking about how to attract your dream clients and repel those who are not a good fit for your services and your programs and what have you. So if you're with me live, say hello. If you're on the replay, hashtag replay, let me know what's going on, and I'll reach back out to you and connect. So when we first started our journey, right, when you're first starting off, you take on clients because you want to create, a business. You want to make some money. You want to help people. You want to get more experience. You want to be able to, have that experience under your belt. So when you're first starting off, yes, you're creating those clients, right? You're taking people on. But there gets to a point in our business where you start to see that there are some people who are getting better results than others. There are some people who show up in a just more empowered way. There are people you love to work with and others that you're not exactly a fan of. And this happens, for most of us, especially if you've gotten a couple clients throughout the time. So what ends up happening is as you're trying to reach that 10K mark, you want to start bringing in and attracting high quality leads who turn into high quality clients, right, in your business. So how does that look, right? What are the things that we need to consider when we're talking about attracting high quality leads? There is a process. The biggest one is obviously your messaging and your content. How are you messaging? How are you speaking to the people you want to call in? But before we go there, we really want to take a step back and actually understand who is an ideal client, who is a dream client. So let's put away the ideal client avatar sheet, which I think most of us have done, which goes into the basics, right? Demographics. Is this do they live in a house? Do they live in the suburbs? What magazines do they watch, or what podcasts do they listen to? Those are great information if you're running ads, but when it comes to understanding them on a deep level, and when it comes to understanding and really picking out what are those characteristics and assets and mindset of the ideal person that you really want calling in and only working with this type of person, we have to go deeper. So I'm going to share with you some questions that I delve deep into with my clients when we're talking about, shifting our messaging and shifting how we are speaking to our audience so that we're only attracting ideal clients, ideal dream clients, premium clients, and not just anybody who shows up in our space. So you want to talk about and think about, what problem did they come to you for and how did they describe it? So if you have people coming to you and they're like, I'm struggling, I've tried all these things, nothing is working, you want to take a step back and analyze that and really dive deep into like, what are the things you've done? Where are you struggling? Really how they're languaging it is actually super key and super important, because when you talk to someone, and we want to look at this, someone in an empowered state in their life, in their business, in their health, relationship, whatever you do with them, they are speaking about their problem in a different way if they are empowered versus when they're disempowered. So someone who would come to me, let's say, would be like, oh my gosh, this thing isn't working out. I'm not getting any results. I'm struggling in my business. This is the last rope for me. If I'm not able to land a client, I won't be able to feed my family. Like that kind of stuff, that's disempowered because they're looking to you to save them. Okay, that type of person is looking for you to be their savior, and they're going to come with that mindset and that expectation actually into the space. And they may not show up in the most premium way, meaning they're going to expect you to handhold them from beginning to end, to do all the work. They may be blamers, complainers, excuse makers. So you really want to really hone into what exactly they're saying. And so how did your most your best client come to you. So what did they say? How were they approaching you? Were they like really excited? Did they do things already that set them up for success, but they just was missing that one little tweak or whatever it may be to really get that result? How are they describing their problem? That's key. The next question you want to ask yourself is, how are they describing their desired results, right? Are they looking at it from a really big picture kind of thing, or are they like, they don't seem really aware, like they don't really know the result? It's kind of shady for them. They're like, I want this, but I'm not sure about this. Like there's that indecisiveness. That's a clue. So you want to really understand, how did they describe their results? How did your most empowered, favorite client describe the results versus your least empowered, the client that was more trouble than you had anticipated? How did they describe their results? And then key here is, what is their overall mindset and attitude when it comes to working with you, right? So when you were working with these people, who was your most, like, again, go-getter, action taker, implementer in your group or your one-on-one container? What did they do? Like, were they already like taking notes, and like the minute you guys were finished with their call, they were going to implementing and being like, hey, this is what I'm getting? Or was it more of like dragging their feet? You had to keep reminding them and following up with them, that kind of person. So what is their mindset and their attitude while they're working with you? This is really key. This is how you're going to actually be able to, so this information, as you process it and write it down, is what you're going to use in your content, in your messaging, when you speak now to the people that you want compared to those you don't want. So that's why you want to really analyze and take some time to reflect on these questions, because this is going to give you the pieces of the puzzle that you need to make sure you're only calling out dream clients, right? So what's their mindset? What's their attitude while they were working with you? The next is, where are they in their journey? So at what specific point in their life, their health, their business, relationship, whatever it is that you help them with, do they come to you? And so this is really analyzing the different aspects. So were they in a point in their journey where they are, they don't have any foundation of any of the things that you're teaching, right? They need a lot of, again, hand holding. They need a lot of help understanding the problem that they have. They need, they don't want much effort to do it. They're like, oh, I thought it was going to be like that. I was going to just get the results, kind of thing. Are they unwilling to invest in a high ticket program, if that's what you have, right? Were they like really giving you a lot of objections? If you have to convince, so here's a cue. If you have to convince someone on your sales call to work with you, they're most likely not going to be an ideal client, because you convinced them to work with you. You're going to have to convince them to take action and actually get a real result. So think about that thing. Think about that. Do they need more education and if convincing in order to work with you? That's someone who's in like a disempowered survival mode state that you really want to like not call in anymore. As compared to someone who's in an empowered state, right? Someone who is, they're fast implementer, they take action, they course correct when needed, they are excited to do the work, they want the transformation, and they know that it's going to take time. It's not something that happens overnight. They have a solid foundation about the problem. They also are results driven and solution oriented, meaning they're always looking for a solution as opposed to coming to you to do everything for them in their whatever transformation. They're excited about investing, right? They got on the call, they're like, here's my credit card, let's go, let's make this happen, as opposed to, I don't know, I gotta think about it, etc. Those kind of people, right? They're educated again on their problem, and they're ready to, to work with you. They're excited about working with you. They came to you. You didn't have to convince them of anything. You didn't have to, strong arm them or pressure them or any of that stuff. They came to you excited to do the work, ready to do the work. They're taking action in your program. They're getting amazing results. They're singing your praise. They're raving fans. They're again, they're taking responsibility for themselves and their results instead of saying, oh, it's your fault or whatever. They're not calling you all 24/7, all days of the night and morning or weekends expecting you to jump up and help them. They are self-sufficient, right? Because I don't know about you, but who wants clients like that? I love, my best clients are those types of people. We just get on those calls, we say what needs to happen, I coach them through it, and they go and they do. They go implement, they take action, they're coming back to me saying, hey, look what I did, Omninye, look where I'm at, this is what's going on. They're responsible, they take responsibility for their results. And they just need that small tweak or that small, coaching, a little bit of coaching, and they take it and run with it. And so those are the types of people you want to call in. Those are the types of people that you want to attract, because they make your business so much more lighter. Because when we're working with those who aren't that way, it feels like stress, it feels like burnout, it feels like overwhelm. And you just feel like, why am I still doing this, right? You question a lot of things. And so we really want to attract go-getters and action takers who want this result and are willing to do what needs to happen to make it happen, okay? And then the last piece to ask yourself is, how did you feel about them before you signed them on? Our intuition is super on point. When you were on the call with them or DMing them, whatever way you enroll them, how did you feel? Again, were you excited? Were you like, oh, I can see this person really, getting this result and doing all this? Or were you like, oh, I don't know, but I need the money, I need a client, so I'm just gonna take them on, right? Our intuition never steers us wrong. And so if you ever felt that, I want you to be, in attuned with that, with your intuition when you're talking to somebody. Yes, you can help everyone, but again, not everyone is ready. So this is the saying I tell my clients, and I say this all the time, is everyone wants a six-pack, but not everyone is willing to do the work to get it. That's the honest truth. Everyone wants a beach body, everyone wants to look great, but let's be honest, there are two types of people. There are people who are like driven and know that, hey, this is going to take time and work, and I've got to put the effort in if I really want to make this happen. And then there are people who are like, yes, I want it, but I want some kind of magic pill. I'm just going to sit on on the couch and hopefully it'll magically appear. And those are not the people we want to attract. We want to attract the ones who understand that it is work, it is effort, and that, good things come to those who put in the time, the effort, and the work to make it happen, no matter what it is that you do. So take some time to reflect on these questions, and then make a decision and a commitment, which is a scary part for a lot of people, to no longer speak to, attract, or work with people who are not ideal. Okay? That's the scary part, because I know sometimes maybe if you're not consistently seeing clients every month, you're like, ooh, I'm just going to take on anybody. But I'm giving you permission to be able to feel confident in that. If you're doing what needs to get done and you're consistently showing up, and you now have these small messaging tweaks that I'll talk to you a little bit about, you can now start to call in the right people, and you don't have to compromise, because that's what ends up happening, is you compromise because we're like, well, I haven't had a client in 2 months, so I'm just going to take on anyone who shows up at my door, and they may not be the best fit for me. Okay. So knowing that, start asking yourself, I'm only going to speak to people who have this specific problem, who are at this point in their journey, and who have either this asset or this experience. I'll dive into what that means. It has this type of mindset and attitude. So I'll use entrepreneurs. I became very narrowed in when I recognized that I did just want to work with entrepreneurs who were straight off, like just starting their business. So when I talk about experience and assets, who can you help the best at a specific point in their journey? If you say I help entrepreneurs, right, land clients, let's say, it's super broad because everyone's at a different point. Are they entrepreneurs who are just struggling to get to 1K? Are they entrepreneurs already at 5K months? Are they entrepreneurs at 10K? Where is the delineation for you to know, like, this is what I'm looking for, and these are the people I can help the best with where I'm at and what I know and my experience and knowledge, etc. So for me, I was like, okay, clarity wise, because I talk about high ticket and being able to hit 5-figure months, and I've done it for myself as well as clients. I'm like, okay, I want clients who are already at least making some money, have some clients. They just need that extra acceleration to take it to that 5-figure month goal, which is what they want. So that means that the people who would be attracted to this and who would be in my container are women who are at least making some figures, at least 1K to 2K in their business, and want to really take that to another level so that they can have 5-figure months. Let's say you want to work with divorced women. Let's say that, right? You have to think about the assets, right? Like, what point in their journey? Are they recently divorced and you're like a dating coach for divorced women? Or have they been kind of, they've been out of their marriage for a bit, they've been dating a little bit. They're back in the mindset of, I want to find love again. It's very different from someone who just recently came out of a divorce, may still be, still processing the change, the transition that our divorce is, and may not be fully ready to jump into another relationship, a long-lasting relationship. So even those little tweaks are things that you want to be mindful of when you start messaging, is where are they in their journey? What assets do they have? Right? Maybe you're like, I help people lose weight, but maybe you don't help someone at a certain weight. Maybe you're like, oh, I help someone who wants to lose the last 5% body weight. That's a different person than someone who's like, oh, I want to lose like 90 pounds, right? There's a different mark and a place in their journey they are. So really getting actually niche down and clear about what assets they have, what experiences do they already bring to the table that will help them get results a lot faster. Let's use entrepreneurs. Maybe if you wanted to work with someone who's kind of brand new, they don't have yet an email list or an audience. So that may be a place where you want to help them build. But if you're like, well, no, I want to help someone get a little faster, you may be like, well, they have to have an audience. They have to have some type of email list with a certain number of people on it, because I can help them move faster because I already know that they have their people in an audience, a space, right? So those are the things we really want to be mindful of. Is where are they in their journey? What assets or experiences do they already have? What is their mindset and their attitude towards that transformation, or what it takes to get that result? And then once you have all this, right, there's a sheet that I share with my clients where we deep dive into all of this and we write it all out. And then from there, we actually take what they've written as what they are looking for in an ideal dream client, and now they incorporate that into their content, into the messaging, because that's where you attract people. No one knows about your little document that you've created. Now you got to speak into that, meaning you've got to now speak to people who are at that stage, who have that mindset. So if you don't want struggle people, if all the language you're using is struggle, right? You're always struggling. You can't do this. You can't, think about that. You're calling in a certain type of person using language that speaks to that person, as compared to someone who's more empowered, who may be like, well, I'm not struggling per se. I just need a small tweak to this in order to make this happen, right? So maybe you want to speak to someone who's trying to lose those last 5 pounds. They're not struggling. They can just be like, hey, I've been trying to do this. I've already done, 50 pounds. I'm excited. Yay, I've done such a great thing. I just need that last 5 pounds. Well, your content, if you want to attract that type of person who's in that type of mindset, would be like, you're amazing. You congratulate yourself, right? You're amazing. You lost those 50 pounds. You put in the work. You did what needed to happen, and you look at yourself and you're so excited about your new body and the way it looks. But those 5, last pounds are just not seeming to go away. They can't melt away for some reason. That's okay. That's what I'm here to help you with. The reason why is blah, 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 your solution, etc. Right? But you see, that's a different thing than, oh, you've been trying forever. You can't get those 5 pounds out. Your life sucks. It won't ever happen. It's a different mindset and a different type of person you're calling in. I think about my business and where I first started, and a lot of the languaging, and my coaches who helped me with this too. She was like, you keep talking a lot about, struggle. And so you're bringing on people who are struggling, who literally are like, if I don't sign a client now, I won't make it. I won't be able to pay my bills, and all of that. And I was like, oh, I don't want that type of person, because their energy is very much survival mode, which is save me. And you never want to be the savior for anybody. It doesn't matter what you do, whether it's trauma or you help people with relationships or health or whatever. You never want to be someone's savior, right? You want to be someone who is there to empower and keep guiding them. You're their guide and mentor, but you are not there to save anybody. That's not our job. And so she was like, you want to call in people who are already at a certain point. They just need that support to get to the next level. And so again, the languaging needs to be different. And so I use I'm like, hey, you're amazing at what you do. You're an amazing mom. You're killing it in your business. You're getting your clients amazing results. And they, and you know that you're amazing at what you do. It's just everyone doesn't know it yet. People don't know that. And so you're having those inconsistent months because they're not seeing that, even though you're incredible. You're calling a different type of person in by using that kind of language and speaking into that, compared to oh, your business sucks. Not, I wouldn't even say that. Like, oh, your business is a struggle. You've been doing this. You're burning out. You're stressed out. Oh my goodness. You know, like if this doesn't happen, you will, you know, you'll have to go back to your job. You'll be miserable. Like that kind of language calls a certain type of person, and you want to be very cognizant of it. And it's just a small tweak. That is really all that's needed to switch out who you're speaking to, right? So I hope that makes sense. I'm just gonna jump on here. Let me know if it makes sense. If you have any questions, let me know. But like I said, like just a lot of this is once you have the understanding and you have like what we shared, the questions down pat, now it becomes incorporating that into your content, incorporating that into your messaging, making sure that you're being very clear and defined about who is the type of right person to get the right results. So not being, you know, either shady about it or like fuzzy about it, because then again you call in everybody because they're like, oh well, we all have the problem, like we all want to build a six-figure business, or we all want to lose weight, or we all want to be in a relationship, but not everyone's at the point where either you can help them get a great result with what your skills are, or they're actually ready to take real steps towards it. Because there are people who are, and this happens, who are addicted to buying coaching programs or programs overall, right? Because they're looking for that special or secret formula to success or to whatever transformation, but they actually don't want to really put in the work. So you want to not call those people in. You want to call those who are truly driven. And you can even, on the front end, before you get on calls, I have a pre-qualification application that I put up in front. And one of the questions is like, what have you done in the past? Like, you know, how have you invested in yourself? What was the results of that investment? Why or why not did it not work? Because how a person phrases that, what they say about it, is actually a great determinant. Helps you determine, their mindset. It helps you determine if they're actually a good fit. So actually, my questionnaire is meant to be a filter for me for when I get on calls with people, to know where people are at in their business in terms of not just the physical stuff they have, right? Like what's your pricing? What do you have an audience? All that, but also what's your mindset? Like, are you a complainer? Are you someone who's going to make excuses for why you're not where you want to be? Or are you someone who's going to take responsibility and say, hey, I know I'm not where I need to be, but you know, I'm willing to do what needs to happen to make it happen. Like I'm willing to do the work, right? I'm ready to get in there, make it happen, because this is my dream, this is my goal, this is my vision, this is my legacy. That's the type of woman I want to call in. And so I'm very cognizant of how I speak and what I say, and then what I see them put in, and have that conversation with them. And so that's something you want to be mindful of too, is on both ends, your messaging and your content, calling in those women or men or whoever you work with who are your dream clients, by making sure you're only speaking to that type of person, has that asset, that experience, that mindset, that place in their journey, and then even creating maybe application to even filter that some more and just give you an idea of really where they're at, really have a deep knowledge of if this is someone who is going to get the results and who you can help get the best results in your program. Okay, so that's it for today. I hope that was helpful in terms of that. And the biggest takeaway really is, do not feel like you need to well, depending on where you are, do not feel like you need to compromise. Know that, you know, once you get this dialed in, you can attract more ideal clients, more dream clients, clients that light you up, who show up in the best way. And then the last piece to that is, when we talk about premium clients, right, and dream clients, it's not just about investing at a high level, which is what I think a lot of people think. They're like, oh, you just mean high ticket. And I'm very careful of not just saying high ticket, because there are people who will pay you high ticket and be a pain in the booty. I promise you that. I've seen it happen. It's happened to me. It's happened to other coaches I know. They will pay you high ticket, and just because they pay you high ticket, be demanding and all these other things, and it's just not worth it. I mean, like I shared before, people who show up in a really empowered way, right? Who take responsibility, accountability, action takers, etc., and who do invest highly in their transformation because they're serious about getting the results. Now, the last piece to that is making sure that you are an embodiment of that. Because at the end of the day, just like relationships, I believe business is so much like relationships, but like a relationship, you can't ask people to be responsible and to take action quickly and to invest in themselves highly if you're not doing the same thing. We have to be a mirror of what we want. That is the, the energy of it, basically, because it's incongruent, it's hypocritical. I could not ask someone to be like, oh, spend 10K on my program, but I've never spent 10K. It's misaligned. And so we have to be really mindful of, are you showing up in the way that you want to attract, the type of person you want to attract, right? So if you say, just like dating, right? You say, oh, I want my future spouse to be, kind and caring and considerate and patient and all these amazing things. Look in the mirror. Are you a reflection of that? That's an honest question. And I mean, I'm going to be honest. I share this transparently. When I first started, I was struggling. And I was like, why is this not working? Like, my message is on point, everything's on point, what's going on? And my coach was like, are you a mirror of what you want? Right? Are you investing at the high level? Are you taking responsibility? Are you a fast action taker? Are you showing up in a really premium, confident way? And I was like, wow, I have to take some time and really like ask myself, am I doing all these things that I want my clients to be and do? And those areas that I wasn't, I had to go back and work on myself. And we're all in constant, that personal development growth aspect. That's learning is always happening for us as human beings. So I believe that's something that, we don't take offense to it. We instead learn from it and grow from it and really work to be better. And so for me, it was more humbling because I was like, oh, okay, I got to work on these pieces of myself in order to be able to actually bring in these types of women. And once I started, I saw a difference and a switch in the type of women who came to me. They were no longer, again, I used to get on calls with women who would like complain about everything and make excuses. And, they were like, well, if I don't get a client, da, da, da. And it was just like, no, you're so powerful. What do you mean? You could do this. And so I wanted to attract those women who understood their power to some level, who knew that they could make this happen for themselves. They just needed that extra support. And so once I started to change the way I was speaking, but also the way I was showing up. So it's not just putting content together and messaging out there, boom, it's going to happen. There's two types of ways. There's both the way you show up, right? The way you're presenting yourself as people are getting to know you, and also your content and your messaging and all those pieces. There's two pieces to it, right? You cannot forget the embodiment of what you want for yourself. Like in a relationship, you can't ask your spouse to be a certain way, but you're not. That's just not okay. And so the same thing, you can't ask your clients to be action takers and responsible people and do the work and all that stuff if you're not doing it. So look back and reflect on yourself. That's a personal thing. And say, am I being an example, an embodiment of this, so that when I attract these people, I'm ready to help them. I'm ready to help them get that transformation because I am being what I'm saying. I'm not just saying to do, but I'm actually becoming this person. Right. And so again, it's a learning process. It's a journey where no one's perfect. For sure. I know I'm not, but I'm always looking to better myself as a human being, as a wife, as a mom, as a coach, as an entrepreneur, you name it. In all areas, I'm always reflecting and taking that time to say, what can I do better? Where can I grow? And I'm always praying about it, asking God to show that to me where I may be missing it or not seeing it. And so I ask that you do the same thing for yourself. Is that reflection and that work is going to actually produce greater results for your business and your life overall than anything else. Okay. So again, that's the stuff that we do in the mastermind. So if you are like, this sounds amazing, how do I actually like put this into practice? Or how do I get all these questions and how do we really take the responses that you give me that we talk about, right? That you talk about when it comes to your dream clients, and how do we then incorporate that into your content, into your messaging? So every time you show up, it's with this message that's really clear and concise about who you want to work with. And then also the embodiment piece. We do the embodiment piece too, because like I said, it's not going to work. If something is misaligned, it doesn't matter how much content you put out there, you will see that it's not going to give you the results you want until the two are in perfect alignment. In terms of you're showing up the way you say you want to attract people, as well as you're writing the way you want to attract people. So if that is something you're looking to get more support in, I invite you to apply to the Mompreneur Mastermind. I'm going to drop the link to the to the sales page. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. I've had a couple people in the DM reach out just because they're like, am I a good fit? Yada, yada, questions, whatever it may be. I'm always open. If you ever meet me, like, I am not the type of person like, I'm very open. I'm very out there. I always want to make sure that I do the best for my clients. And so if it's not a good fit for you, I will let you know and we'll have a conversation. I can steer you into either to someone who would be a better fit, or I can give you resources, tools. I have a ton of trainings that you can watch until you're in that space where you're ready, whatever it may be. Just let me know. But if this is something that you want to take a look into, you have questions about, I'll drop the link to the application. Go check it out. If it's a good fit for you, if you feel like it would be a good fit, definitely, again, check it out, fill it out, and then we'll get on a call and I'll walk you through it. I do not do high pressure sales, so do not ever feel like, I do not pressure anyone to say yes, because that's not empowered. My clients come to me now, and when they come to me, they make an empowered decision. They say yes on their own after, I've answered their questions and shared what they can expect and results they can get. I leave that up to them. I say, hey, that's up to you. What do you feel would be the best decision and path for you? They say yes, they say no, whatever it may be. And so I don't do high pressure sales. You'll never have me convince you to do anything that you don't want to or need to. I just support you in your decision making from there. So if that's something you're interested in, I'll drop it below. Just reach out, let me know if you have any questions, and I will see you tomorrow. I believe tomorrow we'll be talking about your offers and how to really dial those in so that you can forever be able to consistently sell them at whatever price to your dream clients, okay? All right, until next time, ladies, have a wonderful rest of your Wednesday, and I will see you all tomorrow if you're joining me, okay? Take care. God bless.